everybody, this is Angie from the Ageless Rebellion, and we are doing our wonderful Ageless Rebel YouTube channel with Karen Newman.
Yes.
And just to remind you what the Ageless Rebel is all about, the rebel part is about saying no to any limitation, if it's age or race or gender, whatever, but in our case it's definitely aging. And while we are saying no, we're finding our beautiful yes in the exploration of who we truly are. I call it dancing with our soul. And we do it mostly with play, not so much working on ourselves. We have worked so much in our lives. Who wants to always work, right? So I found some cool ways of playing to kind of get out your inner child who has lots of secrets about who you really are. And if you don't go on her playground, she doesn't tell you anything. So we play, and I actually met Karen while we were playing in a clothing store. It's a clothing store which has lots of different styles, and we had some crazy clothes in our hands. We looked at each other and said, definitely not age appropriate.
We'll
So
buy
that's-
it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we connected, because we said, you know, what's age, right? So I want to present you what you do. You are a real estate agent, you're a photographer, and an actress. So it's a power trip, this
And
woman.
formerly an architect, that's how I started.
Oh, okay. And so when we met, we had some fun, but we also were kind of bitching about all the aging crap and what people think and all the ageism and how we feel about it. So about you, what do you feel about age, and did it ever hinder you?
I never used to think about it until I think I got to 50, and then all of a sudden the world started to stereotype me. That's when I started to think about it and think about what I didn't like about it.
Really? What did they do?
Well, they put me in a category and they thought I was like 2 steps away from the nursing home.
Great, it was 50, right?
And that all of a sudden you're just a different kind of woman, and you're and you get to be invisible. All of a sudden.
So did you lose anything because of that?
No, I was still myself. I didn't change. But it's how the world looks at you that changes.
What's about jobs?
Oh, yeah, well, when I first came to LA, I was doing architecture, and I went to an architecture firm for an interview, and the first thing the gentleman says to me is, "How old are you?" And I looked at him and I thought, you are not asking me this question, and why do you care how old I am? And his answer was, well, I want to see if you fit in. And I thought, if I don't fit in by looking at me, what are you going to find out by the numbers of my age? So that's where it started. And I said, I'm not imagining this. This is real.
It's these stereotypes of aging. It's really sad, right? It's like you are suddenly irrelevant and not up to date with the world's actions, and
you can't think anymore.
Unfun. Like a little dry in the head.
Yeah, but they think it's the start of dementia. That's the image that people have.
What was changing for you? Did you add any new things to your life? Did you find any passion?
Yes, well, I did a few things. I mean, I went to graduate school when I was 50.
Ooh, how cool.
Became an architect, and but along the way, you know, the world, the economy, things change. You have to be flexible, and I couldn't always do exactly what I wanted. But so I decided that I still have to do my passions, and that's create. If I'm not creating, I'm depressed, and when I'm depressed, I look 100 years old.
So creating is your recipe for staying
young, vibrant. Yes, and that's what I did. So I took up photography, and a thank you to the new iPhones. That it's not the tools, it's your vision, and I've always had vision. So I do a lot of photography, and I do acting as well. I started acting because my dog became an actor, and I thought, oh, this is fun, and I started taking classes and have done work, and my father told me the best line. He said, I want you to never stop working. And my father is 100 and his wife is 100. And so...
Great genes too.
It's the genes, but he didn't smoke, which helped. He lived pretty clean, but still, it's an attitude. And when people say, well, I'm just going to go sit by the golf course. And I thought, no, you can't do, if you do that, you'll just fall apart. And because there's too much, we have too much to offer the world.
Right.
And that's what's so important.
That's what brings us to the power of aging, right? I mean, we have so much to offer, so many incredible things. Most of us have.
And I don't think about it as being fabulous, but when I talk to young people and they ask me what I do or what I've done, it's all of a sudden they look at me like, all that stuff? You know, it's like it gives them motivation to keep going and that their life isn't going to be over by the time they hit 35.
Right, and I always think we have to be, or I said this in my Instagrammies, we are Madonna. We are reinventing ourselves all the time. And if you start to do that, you go down. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you're stuck too long in something, especially if you really don't like it much,
move on.
You have to have the courage to move and get going. And even if you risk stuff, I risked to skip everything. And I was, a couple of decades older than most of you most probably are.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I may not be risky in terms of wanting to jump out of airplanes, but I have risked my careers, my passions, my whole life, and done what makes me feel good. And that's very important,
and that is a proof here. Your beautiful photography is
amazing
thank you. Stuff in there.
Thank you.
And you also do, talking about photography, you're also doing charity, right?
Oh, yeah.
Giving.
Yes, the real estate office that I work with, the collective, we're doing a big show in June 24th, and it's 2 photographers and painter. It's a big party basically, but yes, and the underlying, everybody's welcome. The underlying factor is it's for charity, because what's the point of earning and not giving back? And we're very much a part of the community that wherever our office is. So this will be in West Hollywood, and the charity is called Pavlov, and it's for childhood cancer. And what this organization does is the woman whose child had passed away, she found his cell phone, and his cell phone was filled with thousands of photos, and she thought, that's where the money should go. So she's designed a program where they teach kids from 6 to 18 photography, and these are children with cancer. So they don't only have to think about the hospital and the doctor, and that they have a tummy ache or whatever, they have motivation for life. And so I'm inspired by it, and that's where any money we make during the auction goes right to the charity.
Beautiful. I love it. And the motivation for life, which you just mentioned, that I think is missing when you give up, when you are, thinking you are now a senior, or you are already buying your gravestone.
Oh God!
Yes. You were getting I don't know. Do you get mail?
I get mail from the Neptune Society every other day. I don't know how they got me, but yes, I know.
It's unbelievable. It's like, okay, trash can.
No, I do too, but and it's hard. The reality is that, I mean, when you think about it, my father's 100, and 40 years ago, people didn't live past, I don't know what the age was, 70 or something.
Changing.
It's rapidly changing, and so you want to, if you're going to live that long, you want to make them good years that
you want to
fulfill you.
Exactly.
Otherwise, what's the point? Just waiting for the end?
Yes, yes. That's what, a couple of years ago, I did a different futuristic live forever type website, and people don't get, most people didn't like it. It was just, too much, too futuristic, and live forever, what? So I asked a couple of my friends and clients, would you want to live forever? And they said, ew, no, what for? I said, oh my God, I want to live forever because I love life. I have so many things I still want to do. I don't have time to do them in the next 50 years, so I need a couple 100 years. So please, that's why I'm going out and researching this, and I'm going to this amazing conference in August with cutting edge scientists who are all the new stuff for longevity.
That's incredible.
what is with you? Would you want to live forever?
Yeah, if I could live as I am now, sure, yeah. If I can keep doing what I'm doing, I don't see any reason to stop.
Yes,
or to end it all or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's great. I have one person on my side. I don't want to live forever by myself.
Okay. No.
You know, like in the movies, you're the last person on earth.
Oh, right.
After everything is dead.
No, I don't want to do that either. But
you have to be really a little careful to not kill the planet at the moment, right?
But there's a lot more of us out there. I've met so many women in the past year. I belong to some organizations and women that are doing so many things, and all ages, all colors, all backgrounds, all professions, and I don't know why they're not doing more talking about it. I mean, and these are women, you know, and a lot of women have raised families, and now they found, I have another 30 years. What am I going to do? And they're giving back, they're creating, they're doing all kinds of stuff. And that's what's important.
That's what really, the mindset is the most important thing, right? It's like I find we are not, the modern society does not define itself anymore by age, race, gender, all that stuff, but by mindset, by a common goal, by something which is really passionate, right? So we meet in these groups, and it doesn't matter how we look or how young or old we are. We just have the passion, and that's, you know, it's amazing. Have you ever had a fear to go to something and be the oldest in the room?
Constantly, I do. And then I get there and I think, why was I even thinking about that? Nobody cares.
Right, and
it's just me that feels like that they're gonna all turn around and look at me and say, why are you here? You know, you're too old for this. Or, why are you listening to this music? Why do you want to be here? And that's in my own head, and that's when you said work on something daily. That's what I have to work on. Right. That's hard because all the signs around us tell us that it's not that way, that we do have to think about it.
Right. So I have the Ageless Rebel Planner, which helps to remind you every day when you're doing your affirmations and your mantras and stuff, to go out there and retrain your brain. Repetition is everything. You have to say it 150,000 times. I am beautiful, I'm powerful, I'm relevant, and then of course do some action to prove that to the world and to yourself. But this is the cool thing here, to actually do it every day. It has, you know, beautiful ways to fill in all your stuff you want to do every day and your thoughts you want to not forget. And I actually gave a couple of those to the charity.
Oh, I know, it's great.
Which is cute. I hope they can do something
with
them. And here, when you said creativity, I remembered this first quote here: "The language of eternity is creativity."
Oh, I love that. Yes, that's a good T-shirt. That's a great T-shirt.
T-shirts of Ageless Rebels are coming soon.
That's right. No, I think that's a great idea.
You can run around and sport those, right?
No, and I think one of the things you just said is really the most important is, aside, yes, we all wanted to stay young and look good, and that's important for our own selves, but I think relevance, that we're relevant, is the most important, because that's what makes you feel like, oh, I'm the oldest, nobody will talk to me. That's it. You are relevant, and you are part of making up this society. And what will we do if everybody over 50 just went away? What would it be like? You know?
And then, what I always found so sad, and when people on their deathbed, so many times you hear that they look back and regret all the things they haven't done, right?
I should have, and I could have, and I would have.
Yeah. So that's really what we are not doing. We are stepping out there, we're doing and it takes courage. I mean, one has to be a warrioress, right? Often to just break through all these limitations and that's why women tribes, what you also mentioned, these communities, women tribes are so important, right? When we meet the Ageless Rebel tribe, we feel like I even do when I meet only with one person, with you. I feel better when I go home because you have similar ideas, you do the same stuff I do.
There's been actual, studies, medical studies done on your serotonin levels, and that they increase when you think, oh God, spend another night with the girls, and it's gonna be, I'd rather go out on a date or something, why don't I have a date? And they were saying that studies show that spending nights with your women friends is that one of the healthiest things you can do. Men don't have that outlet, and we're so lucky that we can do that. So yes, we can support each other and give each other good feelings.
Yeah, it's like women are, I just love women.
Yes,
You know,
so but it's real. It's not just that it feels good, because it really does change your chemical makeup. So it's good to know.
Yes, good to know. Yeah.
Good to know. Yes.
So yeah, come to our tribe.
Right.
So anyway, what I think we have talked a lot about many things. So if a woman would say to you, "Oh, I'm too old for this," is there any advice which comes to mind you would give her?
Unless she's lying flat on the floor and not breathing, I would tell her, you're not too old for anything. You know, I mean, you hear about 80-year-old people climbing the Himalayas. I mean, I'm not saying go out and do that, but there's a range of things that you can do that can make you feel good, that you're not too old for. You know, there may be some physical limits, and yes, you have to be somewhat realistic, but you can't just let that rule your life and stop you from functioning.
Right.
So, and feeling good.
Exactly. And I mean, this also, we started to talk about the not so cool things with aging, right? Which is that our bodies change, you get like wrinkles, and I haven't done any Botox yet. I think you haven't, have you, or tried it?
I did a little bit, but it's like 3 years ago. And I have a dermatologist who does not believe in making you look like somebody else.
Yeah.
And
I'm so scared of that.
No,
you know?
the one thing I can say is what does tend to happen when you get older, and this is if you're as a woman that's working out in the world and stuff, you tend to get gaunt, which makes me look tired. And it's just for that reason. It's not to look like I've had enormous plastic surgery. Very, very minor. I think that that's okay to do.
I mean, if I would have the amazing surgery, some women look really, really amazing. Like, I mean, it's just, it's freaking cool. But others, they look all puffed up, and then I'm scared.
You have to be very, yeah.
So because of that, I actually started, with the Ageless Rebellion, because I felt more and more inhibited by looking in the mirror and saying, I don't like myself. And then, but when you find this passion, this true essence, then you are at the ageless spot where it doesn't matter anymore.
But I also do acting, you have to remember. So part of that is if I want to have a range of roles that I can do, I still have to keep myself looking.
I mean, I have nothing against it at all. I will totally, when I get a little bit more courage, I will try it out.
Yes.
But, you want to feel the best. I always say we are art objects, and we have a vision of who we are.
Right.
So when we love ourselves, we respect ourselves, and that means we respect that vision of us. And, we do anything what is healthy and beautiful for our whole person to look and feel the best, right? And if people do Botox or fillers or plastic surgery, totally fine with me. I'm too scared, so I have to do more mantras.
Well, the sad thing is that men don't do that. Well, no, that's not true. There are more men doing that now because they have to stay in the working world, so they have to feel like they don't look like they're 102. But in terms of what's considered good looking, men can age with wrinkles and with all kinds of stuff on their face, and women cannot.
Right, but
that's stereotypes. That's the sad part of it all.
But that makes dating so hard. Like
close to impossible.
Yeah, I mean, men our age either have 30-year-old women because they are powerful and have money, or are creative artists or something, or they are these 60 over men who
don't take care of
themselves, right? And then I say, okay, what do I do now? I look at Match.com and it's nothing.
No, it's trickier as you get older.
Yeah, I think we have to also give some love to the men and say, hey dudes, do a little bit something. Come on, let's work out, shape up, get some muscles. You know, men are divine, like women are divine. So they also should have self-respect and
That's a good point. I think it's because men have been allowed to. They don't have the stereotypes that women have, and they've been allowed to let themselves go in a way and
Yeah.
not be condoned for it or something. But women, it's harder to get away with that. You know.
So in the nastiness of having to be a certain way as a woman, also is that power, you know,
Mhm.
that we can say, yes, we are not letting go of. We love ourselves.
Right.
We have pride in our
Appearance.
You know. So yeah. Anyway, so
It's been
I
great.
think, yes,
It's
it
been
was
so
really
much fun. Yeah.
Okay,
I learned a lot.
Oh, good. Okay, I see you in the Ageless Rebel tribe.
Yes.
We have a meetup soon, and
Yes.
then everybody else get the Ageless Rebel planner and join us. And that's it for today. And
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.